Hello everyone, and welcome to another video at my YouTube channel. Today I'm doing a card featuring hearts for Christina Warner's June mail call, and I did a search on Cricut Design Space, and I found this background of all these hearts, and then I found these drawn hands doing the heart symbol, and so I let my Design Space, my Cricut Explorer, draw the hands for me, and then I cut out the heart background in 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. And so basically I cut it out of a heavyweight cardstock, and just to kind of make a stencil out of it. And so I'm going to take some Distress ink in a couple of different colors to make a little bit of a gradient in Candied Apple and Festive Berries. So I'm just going to take my Tim Holtz mini ink blending tool and just carefully sponge this in these little hearts. And I should have made my background bigger than my card base, so I could have actually taped it down, and that would have been a little bit better, but I didn't, so I just carefully taped it down. I just carefully held it down and then started carefully sponging in the color. So let me just speed up this portion of the video, or else it would be super long, and then we'll come back with the next step. Here's what it looks like with all my little hearts inked up. Now I'm going to take my Distress sprayer, and this is the first time I've ever used this Distress sprayer. I just got it in. You probably just saw it in my Simon Says Stamp haul video, and actually I was having a little bit of difficulties trying to figure it out, but I did eventually get it. But I did overspray a little bit. This is not watercolor cardstock or anything. So I did get a little bit of warping of the paper, but it did turn out alright. I got the little distressed spots, and it turned out fine. So the next step of my project is I'm going to take my hands, well, there's a close-up of the hearts. But the next step of my project is I'm going to take the hands and I'm going to color them. This is kind of my go-to colors for coloring skin tones, as you saw a close-up there. Now again, this is going to take a while, so I'm going to speed up this portion of the video, but I just take my lightest color, the E50, and I'm going to just kind of mark out where I want to put my shadows. And my E50 is getting kind of dry. I'm going to have to find a refill for it, but it worked through this project. So let me just speed this up, and I'll come back after the coloring's done. my hands are colored, I'm going to work on her jewelry. And so I'm just taking a Pentel Sunburst metallic gold pen and doing the ring on her hand. And then I'm doing one of her bracelets in the Pentel Sunburst metallic silver. And then for her other jewelry, I'm just going to take some different Wink of Stella that I have. I used the clear, or the glitter gold and the glitter silver, and then I think I used the metallic red, and just did different combinations of these things on the jewelry, just to give each piece a different kind of shine and everything. So then I'm going to take my C1 and I'm going to go around the edge, all the way around the edge of my hands and everything, just to kind of make everything pop. Well, I'm going to go around the whole image with the C1, and then I'm going to come back with the C00 and kind of lighten it out, and then I'm going to come back with my colorless blender to help try to, fade it out to white. And you'll see, you can start to see now how it just, that shadow around it just really helps the image kind of pop off the page. So it really doesn't take that long to do, and you really don't even have to be that kind of neat at it. I was just really quickly going around it because you're going to use the C00 behind it, and then you're going to use the colorless blender too, so it all blends out and it looks fine, and like I said, you just really don't have to spend a lot of time on it. Okay, next I took some red foil paper and I used this Lawn Fawn stamp called Love, and I cut it out numerous times, and so I'm going to glue 3 of them together using my Ranger Multimedia Matte and my, you'll see I've got a Ranger precision tip on my bottle. Love those. They just help you to squirt out a really fine line of glue, so on something like this it works awesome, and the no clog tip is really great too. And the Multimedia Matte, if a little bit of it oozes out, the matte dries clear, so you really don't see it in your project. So, sorry, I got a little off camera here when I was fiddling with them, lining them up. It's really not hard. The words kind of really want to line up together, especially if you use a pretty substantial kind of cardstock, and this foil is a very substantial kind of cardstock, so it don't really bend around much when you get it wet with the glue. So they go together real easily. So almost finished here, just putting the last little bits of glue on there. Okay, next I found this piece of gray striped paper in my stash, and so I thought, I love gray and red together, and so I just cut it down to be 1/8 of an inch bigger than all around of my hands, and so I just quickly back that, and I wanted to pop that up, so I'm just taking some fun foam that has adhesive on one side, and I'm going to stick that to the back, and I cut it shy enough so you won't see that it's yellow, and then I'm just applying some permanent Tombow mono tape adhesive runner on the back of it. I usually use my ATG, but on camera it's easier just to use these little handheld things. And I got out of frame again, my goodness. Okay, there I go. And so then I just glued the Love down on top of that with again with my Ranger Multimedia Matte. So I've got some dimension since I popped up, my image. So I'm just going to glue this love down flat because I don't want to make it too bulky since I'm sending this in the mail. So I'm just going to put one of my acrylic blocks on the top just to hold it down while the glue is setting. So I have this stamp set. It's by Close to My Heart, and it's called Awesome something awesome. I will find it here in a minute on my desk and confirm that. So I'm just taking a sentiment from this and again stamping it on a piece of white cardstock, and so I'm stamping it in Versamark, and I'm going to use some white embossing powder, and I'm going to do an embossed resist technique. I found the stamp set on my desk, Beyond Awesome. It's in the occasion section. It's item number C1644. It has some really cute awesome stamps on it. So you can see I'm just using the Versamark, and that was my Embossing Buddy bag, just to put the powder down so the embossing powder only sticks to the Versamark ink, and I don't have any stray pieces of embossing powder anywhere, so my ink blending will look good. And on this stamp set, it says Beyond Awesome, have an awesome, which I used on this, have an awesome, and it's ... and I'd put day underneath it. There's a life, there's time, there's birthday, and then there's a flag that says you are ... and you could put ridiculously awesome, some kind of awesome, way awesome, and then you have a big stamp that says awesome looks good on you. So a lot of fun little stamps that you could use for just about anything. So here I go with the ink blending, and again I'm using both of the colors. They blend real close. These colors are not a whole lot of difference in the colors, so it's kind of hard to see the difference on camera. But let me, this takes a while again, so let me just speed up this portion just a little bit, and I'll be back. Okay, finishing up the ink blending here, and then I'm going to take a paper towel and just buff over the embossing powder just to get any little bits of ink on there that just comes right off, and so the white just really shines through. And then I'm just cleaning up my craft mat, which is a Close to My Heart craft mat that is rubbery on one side, so it sticks down to your desk and doesn't move around. It's awesome. So I'm just applying some adhesive on the back of here, and I'm putting it again on a piece of gray striped paper so it matches the front, and then just putting the adhesive on the back of this, and I'm going to adhere this down flat in the inside of my card, and this will finish off the card for today. And so here's a final look of the outside and the inside of the card. So thanks for watching.